Welcome, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, to Group B, Race 2 of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby Gaia Mountain Underpass GP. My name is Thavian Hawk. Joining me in the booth today is Classic Gamer 76 with our restreamer Hate the 13th and our tracker duo of Red Mage and JLo 7. Classic Gamer, what are we looking at for these parties and blursings? Is my co-commentator there? Well, with the there we go.
Okay, I was muted apparently. Sorry about that. So anyway, the fighter has the elemental magic that everyone likes to forget, or at least I do, and plus 10 MDef. Thief, plus 80 GP. Where he got it from, we won't ask. And plus Red Mage Armor. The Black Belt, plus 10 luck, and can equip gauntlets and helmets. The Red Mage, plus 15 agility and fighter armor. The White Mage, plus 20 hit percent and hurt dragon. Maybe great if you get an early monster, perhaps. The Black Mage, tele magic, love that bonus, and plus 1 MP level all. That's another good one.
I have to admit, with these blursings, I most definitely agree with the picks for three of our racers, going with that Thief for red, or two of our racers at least, Thief for red and Black Mage. You got two spellcasters, one has telemagic, the other one has the armor to survive. But we also see the Fighter Thief Black Mage for Rax and Khan. So some divergence in parties, but I don't blame them for either pick.
Yep, neither do I. Of course, with the Red Mage, you kind of gamble. You don't know if you're going to get some of that Life 2 or, Cure 4. And that's useful because we have in this flag set Life and Battle enabled.
Very true. The number of times survivability has come down to that one life caster surviving to get that cast off. Especially if you get the promoted knight with an early life spell and it's the survival body and you need those casters up to nuke or what have you. Another thing to point out with these flags, we have a force none in slot 3, so these are enforced 3 or fewer parties.
Yes,
that limits the party picking.
Yep, it really does. And again, I agree. I like these choices. If I was playing this, I'm not sure if I would go Thief Red Black or Thief Fire Black, but both of these parties look pretty good to me personally. Other aspects of this flag set, we have a patrolling Warmech, and we're off.
Okie dokie, let's get a first look at the magic from our streamers. White magic coming up, that is Harm 3 and Lamp. Not horrible, but we don't have a White Mage. And there's Temper and Nuke, level 1. That Black Mage and those Red Mages, for that matter, are set for early casting. Yep. And that is a ship hint from our hint giver.
Yep, I didn't quite see where that ship was, but let's see the weapons shop. We actually have a Saber plus 2.
The ferry has it. The ship in the bottle from the ferry. The ship sunken in the ferry's lake, at least in Gaia. We got Saber 2s as weapons, and nothing to note in armor, it looks like. Actually, no, those are the Pro Rings and some Iron plus 3. Pretty solid early armor.
Yes, very solid early armor. Love to see Pro Rings. You got the death protection, and prior to any blursings, it's actually the best, hand armor in the game.
Now, one thing to note, with that ferry having the ship, that's actually an option given the fact we are running floaterless, and we have the bridge to Lefane enabled and the Gaia mountain passage, so you can walk all the way from Corneria to Gaia with this flag set.
Yep, we have a rune sword in Toph upper left. That's a pretty good early weapon, and with actually, the elemental bonus, that can hit a lot of fiends pretty hard.
And stacking in a free Pro Ring, I mean, they're available early, but that is a lot of gold not to have to spend for some extra survivability. That rune sword going on that fighter for our parties that have them.
Yep.
Not so much necessary on the Red Mages with the nuke and level 1 cast, but it's excellent swing damage either way. You're going to get Garland down in one cycle almost certainly.
Yeah. And Rax, remembering that the fighter has the elemental magic, that is something I generally only remember when I'm locked out of level 8.
It's only elemental, not elemental 2, so that's level 2 instead of level 3 magic, but that's still a sweeper early. And there is the bottle from the king. That is access to the boat and the canal, so I'm expecting to see some racers go check out Fight with Bicky, get the pirate incentive, and then run all the way to Gaia and get that boat early.
See, Garland has Trance. That's never nice, but Infinite Tape nukes him down.
Yeah, reasonably affordable houses coming out, 1,100 gold plus some sub 20 gold heal pots, so nothing horrible there, but of course we're very much low on gold. Only getting that plus 800 gold, only I should say, from the thief. A nice early starting bonus, but didn't get any real gold out of those chests in Garland, so hopefully that sub 1,000 that they're rocking with coming out of the Garland fight is enough to get their magic going once they get into Provoca.
And nobody's checking Metoya's for any gold, but then again, that's hit or miss anyway, so I completely understand that play. It'll be interesting to see if Bicky gives a crystal or something.
True. That early Metoya play is usually more valuable when we have Luce that can show up in her closet. The number of times I've seen something important in those 3 chests is pretty crazy to think. But our first pull of the pirates coming out of Khan, we get the ruby, so that's something to get once we get to the Melman Condet, which we will have access to with that ship once they get to the bottle turn-in, and a check no shop item here in Provoca.
Softs are not too bad in price. And now we have Rax picking up his ruby, so from here, do you actually try to make the trek to Gaia? Of course, I don't know how many tents they have, because you might need to save scum a little.
True, and we haven't actually seen tents. I believe we haven't even seen cabins. It's just been houses so far, and that's some actually good armor. Cap +3 isn't a throwaway item early, and Shane +3 is usable on that thief because it has the red mage armor blursing.
So fighter, thief, and red mage will be able to take advantage of that rolled up chain armor, so that's pretty good defense early.
In fact, the red mage with the fighter armor blursing can use that iron armor early, and that is a herb from the 3rd floor of Ordeals, so they're going to have to get to the canoe and get to Ordeals to get that herb to talk to the prince, or prime minister, to wake up the prince, I should say. And then our white and black magic, we have Ice 3 as a sweeper, and then we have Wall in level 2 white, which is useful, especially if you don't get the ribbon, although only our red mage casting parties could even use that.
Also have Bane at level 2, which can be a pretty useful spell. By going by Lefane, I believe we have the Superstore on. They could actually check out more magic early, at least once they get the money.
This is very true, and the Hint Giver in Lefane does work even if you have not translated. It does not Loompa-Loompa, it actually somehow knows our common tongue. But I doubt we'll see many people get in there. Actually, it looks like Rax is going in, saving ahead so you can just reset out. Checking the Hint Giver, probably not going to check magic at all given the lack of funds. And the Rod is with Bahamut, so that is Cardia check required to go ahead and get the access to Earth Cave, which we'll also need. So we'll get to Bahamut, and then they can deal with the Earth Cave and Titans and Sarda all in one trip if they want to route it that way.
Heavy Metal Mage taking down his bridge boss. The interesting thing is that might make them try to wait to do the Rod and Earth until they have the tail, and Khan pulls out his ship from the lake, or has the ferry do it for him. Let's hope it's still seaworthy.
Well, I mean, that explains why there's a pilot retired in there. He went there to sunk his boat and then got the ferry out of the lake in a bottle and sold it off. I mean, try to figure out the lore on that, and we got some Ankylos. Looks like some of our runners are actually trying to do a quick search to see if they can find a quick blue stake, which Infinite Tape found with that early nuke on that red and swinging with the black mage. And blue stake over on Khan's side, blue stake, or red stake on Khan's side, blue stake for heavy metal. This is early access to blue stake. It's thick, it's taking a lot of nukes, but if they can survive, that's a huge chunk of levels and some reasonable gold on those two parties. That's level 12 for Infinite Tape on both of its casters. It needs to get the Thief brought back up, because definitely wants to get the levels for lockpicking early.
Yep, that's what I was thinking myself. You know, it's unfortunate the Thief went down because he's not getting the lockpicking levels. Also checking out levels 7 magic, because you don't see that in Lefane, and the tail is
That is level 6
Volcano.
Volcano. That is very huge to find. Now, if they can get the canoe... Oh, Khan running towards... not remembering that the canoe is necessary, either running towards Ordeals just to check some more spots, or gonna bounce off a river. Unfortunately, we do not have the free canoe, so yep, there you go, resetting back out of the run towards Ordeals. An infinite tape, taking the long, desperate walk to the pirates' retirement home, also known as the Gaia Hospital, or whatever.
Yep, the least conveniently located clinic in the game, and he gets his ship now. Zombols on con screen, those are some very good early experience, and not as good as the blue stake, but they're also a lot easier to take down. And
Very
sandwiches for infinite tape.
And Rax now coming back from Gaia, gonna check in Lefane, check our level 3. That is Cure 4 and Cure 3, then Life 2 in level 4. This level 3, level 4 magic is excellent for the White Mage. The Black Mage, we got Quad X and Fast in level 4. That is also quite good.
Yep.
So, nothing
Ninjas will be able to use that fast. And really key, that Cure 4 is going to be night learnable.
Very true, and they are definitely going to want to look at promoting with these parties.
Yes, absolutely. We know where the tail is. It is in Volcano. Of course, we need the canoe to get to that. I don't think we've seen a hint on the canoe yet.
No, we have not, but Khan is our first racer on stream into the water. Heavy Metal, though, getting an advantage heading towards Gaia, or Elfland, it looks like, not having checked the magic in Lefane. Probably coming here to check the magic and also check the item, hoping to find that early item shop, or shop item.
Yeah, level 3 stop isn't bad either.
This is interesting. Infinite tape going straight to the Melman continent. Gonna go ahead and pop that Titan's Trove, or pop up in the Titan's Trove and check Sarda. It's gonna double dip the Onrak continent, but who knows? Could find the canoe or key or another fetch item that is easier dealt with now than later.
Yes, he's also going to check out what Titans have. I don't believe that's incentivized today, but it's still.
The
Masa, did I see a hint about
rolled,
the Masa?
And it rolled +4 in Sky. That is our Sky incentive chest. So we can have a +4 Masa. What a whipstick.
Yes, that'll be very nice to find when they pick it up.
Nothing special looks like coming out of that Titan's Trove. As you said, it is not incentivized, but do have the quick run down to talk to Sarda now.
It'd be interesting if they find the rolled up katana. That would be Masa could definitely go on the right wizard.
Yeah, for any of our runners that get it, or it could be the big whipstick for the fighter or the red mage. Either way, you do not underestimate having a second swingable weapon of high caliber.
Yeah, of course, white wizard be for someone off stream, but yeah, because we haven't seen what the other X-Cal, the katana, the Vorpal have rolled yet, so they could be rolled up or they could be rolled junk.
And Sarda with the instrument of the day, which for our racers seems to be the loot. Let's see if anyone has some clever... That is a piano. Sarda is packing something extra. We'll call that a fold-up flat pack, so it's more mobile. Or we can just assume that our light warriors are that yoked and are just carrying around a grand piano everywhere they go.
I mean, think about if you have a bunch of warriors casually carrying around the grand piano, that might be kind of intimidating to, a bunch of ogres or something, unless perhaps they have gaze.
Yeah, and Khan, all the way back, has looped around the continent. It is going towards Crescent to check with the sages, get a hint giver from the secondary sage. Not checking the store item, going straight to the sages. Has warp magic with the black mage, so you can actually warp out or exit out and save the walk back. Finding hints on the crown, although I mix it, and that is the oxtail. That is access to sea once we have the canoe. Actually,
we also did not check level 6.
Keep in that, but still.
Yep. We also didn't check level 6 magic, so of course, I mean, level 6 isn't the most convenient, but you're probably going to get, especially with that black mage bonus plus 1 MPL, you're going to get some charges there.
And Hate 13th pointing out in chat that the Slab is for sale in Elfland for 37,000. So it makes some sense that Khan was not checking the store, having been the one that checked Elfland early. We have a run into from Crescent from Infinite Tape, as we have a stop by Rax in Cardia. Gonna grab the thing or the item from Bahamut, as we have the Bahamut's Horde enabled. Since we have no floater, we have no access to the rest of Cardia, so every single chest is linked to a horde behind Bahamut, and getting access to all of them in one place. So we don't have an easy lazy dragons, but that is a katana +4. What a whipstick. And the ruse. This is some kit.
Yes. They are really set to go weapons-wise. Of course, there's the rod, which the hint givers told us, so that will open up Earth for Rax.
And the crown is in right side Sea Shrine. The crown is in Mermaids.
As I recall, actually, I don't think we need the canoe to reach.
Correct. I misspoke. We just needed the canoe to reach the ice cave and the caravan. Although the caravan would be out of the way for no reason, it seems. We have our first runner on the Onrak continent going down to Seed, get that crown, and hopefully with some levels, kill them a Kraken.
Of course, with some of the weapons we see, well, we know there's the Masa up there. The katana we cannot use until after promotion, but said you're going to want to promote with this group. But those levels, I don't know if I'd want to face Kraken. No, we did see level 2 Bane, which of course can help get rid of Kraken quickly if you have a little bit of luck. And Han's just going Kraken side. He's not even checking the mermaids.
Well, if he can survive the rundown, having Nuke on his Blackcaster and a tanky Knight to swing, it could be a good move going Kraken side first. Although, knowing the potential gear you get, as well as the incentive item that's down in Mermaids, it might be a better move to run Mermaids first. It's down to the runners how they run it.
I mean, sometimes you gotta really love these spicy plays where they try something a little bold like this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's always fun to watch.
Very true, and as two of our runners, Rax and Heavy Metal, are in or leaving Crescent Lake, we have Infinite Tape getting into the treasure trove of Bahamut's Horde as we pull a Mage Stick and an Opal 3 shield out of Sharknado Room for Khan.
That's from free AoE, and of course the shield can be used by the fighter after promotion.
Yep, if the dragon armor rolls up and is found, that is the best armor that you can put short of a ribbon on one of the party members. Ooh, that Jotunheim pack for Khan doing no favors, taking out the Black Mage, poisoning the Knight, still not be able to get away, not enough armor to survive. Can it get the run, or will it get that? It got the run and only found 4k and a gold or an ice shield. The ice shield is nice equipment, can be used early, but if I were Khan, I would be very worried.
Yes, Oh, and an Aegis right there. So that would be another great thing to use after promotion. Of course, barring finding or did he find the Ruse Stick? Because if he's got the Ruse Stick, he could still find I could still see him trying to take on Kraken, because if he gets some turn order.
With the Ruse Stick coming out of Bahamut's Horde with that katana, but not having a power bonk or anything to amplify the damage potential, I would feel worried. I would try and run this out if anything. An Infinite Tape, our second runner, into Ice Cave, or into the sea, going towards Mermaids.
Yep. So we'll see what the Mermaids have once he probably taking some notes or something.
Most likely checking to make sure that the incentive item is on the right side in Mermaids. And that is a hint on the ribbon from the on-rack hint giver that Rax checked. I did not catch exactly where that was, but a ribbon -1 as it rolled is still a valuable item.
A ribbon -9 is a valuable item.
Thank you once again, Hate our restreamer, picking up that was a ribbon with Matoya, so that is a crystal into a ribbon incentivized.
Alright, we have Infinite Tape checking out Mermaids. Nothing too notable yet.
And Khan bailing out with a wipe to some Gersharks, it looks like.
Yep, making the adjustment, heading over to Mermaid's side now.
Second
No, he bailed out. I
katana
was looking at
plus
heavy metal.
4 in Bubbles chamber. Infinite tape, too psyched up by finding that second katana, whether it's usable or not. Leaving Bubbles alive as pulling the crown out of, I believe that was the Legendary's room. Either way,
Yeah, I
not
think that was
carbonating
Legendary.
Bubbles is an interesting choice by our runners.
Yep, I mean, sometimes it does save a few seconds, but, I don't know. It's just sad to see Bubbles not being carbonated.
Well, that's one racer on stream so far. We still have 2 more, or 3 more, I should say. As Khan taking that route back up to Melman, checking with Sarda and the Titans, not bothering to check the Titans trove as it is not incentivized, going straight in.
Rax was blocked a little by Mermaid. We'll see Rax. She's blocking the way out. And 0 for 2 in carbonating Bubbles. And 2 for 2 meaning the katana.
Metal Mage doing it right. Thank you. Carbonating some Bubbles and getting a crown following it up.
So this is interesting because while you do have some nice weapons, it's nothing you can use right now against Kraken. So the question is, do you try Kraken's side, or do you, of course, you hate to double dip anything?
Now,
and
this
Anorak's
is
the worst.
Very true, and this is interesting. Rax backing out with exit, whilst Heavy Metal is going warp and going down Kraken's side.
Yeah,
or did Rax wipe? Interesting. With lockpicking enabled, Infinite Tape has backed out and is going to Cargill Locked, getting the treasury, getting the canoe. That is full access to the map. We know where the what's in Volcano. I would suspect that Volcano is the next choice, maybe Earth.
Yes, indeed, but that really opens up things, and that they get to ordeals now. They can get to waterfall now. That opens up the whole world. You don't need any floater.
And that is a crown in hand, so Infinite Tape is going straight to Astos. I missed what the Dark Elf has, but I'm fairly certain we'll see very quickly here with 2 nukes coming out from those casters. Nuke 1, 141, Nuke 2, 145. Low rolls, but more than enough. That is a kill on Astos. 16, 17, 17 for the party, and a key. A bit of a womp, given key or unlocking is available, but I doubt they'll reset out. Gonna go probably check those 3 chests and the spike tiles, and maybe save ahead of it. Nope, leaving the chests alone.
Yep. Interesting play. Of course, sometimes you don't really need to grind in these flag sets. You can get enough levels as you're going. Of course, sometimes you could think that until late Topher and then find some gatekeepers or really nasty chaos.
And we have plenty of divergence here. We've got Heavy Metal down on Kraken's floor as Khan has dove Earth, and Infinite Tape is going ordeals. Rax out of C, picked up the crown and is bailing, not bothering to try Kraken.
Yep, I agree with that play, and it looks like Rax's stream is unfortunately down. Oh, there we go.
They have an Ice Sword out of the Asher Trunk. Thank you for that. I had a moment of brain bleed. We have a Kraken being pulled as ordeals entered by Infinite Tape. What will happen? We've got Bane, or we have Brack, we have multiple new casts, we got a Ruse coming out by the Thief. Does that is a Bane strat, so we're gonna go Ruse stick Bane. Both of the Banes miss, and the Ruse stick isn't gonna get used because that is a swing for nearly kill and a sleep touch off of Kraken. How fun is that? Getting the Cure 4 to bring back the Thief to full stack, and the Ruse stick off this time. Another swing, another 180 plus damage, and another sleep. Get another Cure 4 coming out, get another Bane, just gonna recycle. And that is a Bane kill on Kraken for Heavy Metal. Our first Fiend kill. Does the orb get lit? The orb gets lit at 2130 out of C with the incentive item and the orb lit for Heavy Metal Mage.
Meanwhile, Rax takes down Astos, getting his keys. Not going to be too thrilled. Maybe we'll remind him, oh, I've got lockpicking. Maybe I'll go to Canaria and get the canoe.
As Khan deals with the vampire, picks up 52,000 gold out of the vampire's closet. That was one loaded vamp. Rax checking the chests that were left by, not finding much, a gray worm and something else, and that is a bad eye in ordeals. That is a no fun tile. Ignore it, leave it, bye for infinite tape.
Yep, this is not the eye you're looking for. And we have Khan down in Earth 4 now, having gone over a slight speed bump earlier. Looks like he is not going to check anything. He's got his rod. He feels good with... And really, there isn't that much down here usually.
Well, we know there's not a katana there because we found both of them already.
Yep. And we know where the masa is, so weapons-wise, I would be feeling pretty good, especially with this party. You throw that the Khan has, you throw the katana on the ninja, give the masa to the fighter knight when you find it, and hi, Lich.
There's a speed bump of some variety that's about to be nuked completely. Wow, that is a low roll nuke again. 141, 50 damage off that swing from the fighter, 185 coming out of the ninja. Sorry,
Lich.
Beef. Lich has been speed bumpified, and that is our second orb lit for Khan, the Earth Orb, as Heavy Metal is in Canaria picking up that canoe out of the ancestor chest, as Rax also headed there, got the canoe. Infinite Tape, meanwhile, out of ordeals with plenty of gold, gonna check the magic and likely, hopefully find that slab, pick that up while going in to turn in the herb to the Elf Prince.
Yep, that's what it looks like he got out of ordeals, so this is the great proximity play. Just sail up to Elf Land, check the magic, and turn in the herb and see what it is. I don't remember if we had a hint giver on that.
I do believe this was where the Masa hint came out of, next to the magic shop here.
I'm no hint giver telling us what the Elf Prince is. Yeah, I believe the Elf hint giver did tell us about the Masa. The good news about the Masa.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rax going into ordeals, and Heavy Metal on the river system, choosing to go towards losing both magic casters, so diverting towards Elfland to get those magic casters back up, as Khan picks up the slab, as does Infinite Tape, I believe. Or did Infinite Tape pick it up? Having that much gold, I don't think they have.
Yes,
selling
I'm pretty
off
sure he
items.
has. Also selling off a few things. I mean, that takes a little time. I like that as a casual player, but of course another thing is you can also check a chest if your inventory is full and not worry about. Oh, that's what he was doing. He didn't quite have enough for that slab, so he sold off the silver helmet and with 50 gil to spare buys the slab.
Indeed, as Khan is now in Melman, getting that slab in hand, going to translate, checking the armor shop just to be safe, as Infinite Tape looks like they're going right. Probably going to go towards Crescent, maybe check something level 6 magic, or just go to Volcano from there. Khan giving us a quick look at the level 5 magic yet again, finding that Zap and Brack there, as Heavy Metal, our first runner on stream to make it to Volcano, knowing what's down on Volcano 4. Or Volcano 6, pardon me. Doing a loot check, doing a tile check, finding something that's not so fun. Those hyenas are usually annoying. Well, yeah, cremate. Have fun with that.
And that is a French vanilla tile. I think you can get that encounter in Volcano, and everything rolled a script. That's not too pleasant.
Black Mage down, got life 2 off on that Red Mage. Gonna just go ahead and life up. Probably would have personally reset out of that. Only one box in, one tile in. Not worth it. Rax onto the final floor over ordeals, as Infinite Tape, another bit of a divergence, our first runner to try Ice Cave, as Khan with the slab translated is now in Lefane.
So he's going to pick up the item from the finish and see it is the Adamant, so that'll pull him back towards dwarves. You know, I don't think we've seen the TNT yet. We could have the legendary Lazy Dwarves.
That is very possible, and with lockpicking available, even if they don't have the key yet, which comes off that crown, having access to the Dwarven Armory to try and get some good gear. We haven't seen the Opal Bracelet, which although I think that is actually in the incentive pool, but we have not seen good armor else outside of the Knight promoted gear. Speaking of an Opal +3 shield coming out of Dwarven Mermaid, and that is the good eye in the Dwarven Armory slot. If
Yep,
there's any place to grind up for your party, that safe tile on the first room of Agma floor could get you a few levels.
Yes, especially if any of our runners, none of them on stream did, but if anyone off stream took a black belt, they found their grind. There's Flame +2 armor in Dwarves for so there's some of the armor that Ninja can use after promotion, a fighter can use right now. Actually, a red mage can use right now too because they have fighter armor.
And speaking of that Opal +3 bracelet coming out of the Adamant turn-in, weird that Adamant turns into a gemstone material, but Infinite Tape, meanwhile, checking that right side trap tile in the drop-down, or in the incentive item room, and ice, finding the metal slime tile, another valuable grind tile for a party grind with those nuke casts. It is not the best tile to take, but with warp magic, that might not be a bad place to check for some party grinds if you want it.
Yes, I'd like that for a party grind. Well, eyes are great for solo. They're not as great for full party grind, of course. And now Heavy Metal Mage is going to try to dan off some of his characters, which is nice, but eyes are notorious for not going down or taking down party members, but he's got the lava tiles nearby if he wants to. Looks like he's decided, no, I'm not going to grind right now. Re-equipping his
armor. As Rax gets the crystal from that turn-in from the herb, getting a look at the 6-pack in ice from Infinite Tape.
Of course, with the telling magic that the Black Mage has, that makes ice much quicker.
Very true. Could use the warp trick to get back and get the incentivized straight up. Looks like Infinite Tape, however, going full clear on Ice Cave. Understandable, because there can be some good equipment.
Yep, you can always grab the incentive and then exit out and check the trap tile, which is nothing in particular special. And we get the chime out of Ice Cave.
That is halfway to Sky Sky Sky. That is ice mandated, or mandatory by the seed. Meanwhile, Rax docking at the top of the circuit, going to turn in the crystal, noting that because we have the bridge to to Lefane flag set, there is no water access or dock above Canaria to get to Melman, or to get to Matoya's Cave, and that is a white shirt out of Matoya's Cave. Very good evasion to go on with that roost stick, and that is the ribbon that we knew was coming out of incentive on Matoya. Very, very valuable in a single caster party.
Yes, extremely valuable. The question is, who do you put the ribbon on? Because, I look at some of these parties, they're not going to have any access to life.
I would definitely go with the Red Mage if the party has it. It is the life caster on the party, and it is also the secondary melee option, as well as secondary nuke option. It's the Jack of all trades, masters of none that is worthy of keeping protected in this flag set. Meanwhile, Heavy Metal getting some swings in the eye in that top left room, and in the Agama floor, going through chest, finding a Opal -1, not usable for them, going to warp back out instead of trying to run it out. As Rax is getting the slab translated, we have a volcano dive in from Infinite Tape, and Khan is in Mermaids doing the searching. Does Khan carbonate bubbles? Looks like Khan is going there, and we have a carbonated bubbles yet again.
And we have a katana +4, of course, out there as well. We know that would come. I don't know if Khan's seen the other katana yet.
I do not believe so. There is the tail for Heavy Metal. I am fairly certain we are going to see Heavy Metal promoting straight out. The only other option I could see Heavy Metal taking is get the proximity play in ice and then promote, but there is nothing, absolutely nothing disincentivizing promotion when you have 2 katanas in hand with the Thief as your primary melee, let alone the Red Mage looking to get access to more spells.
I mean, promotion will give the Red Mage access to lock in particular.
Yep, help with the evasion. We could have a dodgy chaos rather than an absorby chaos, and the katana may be good for crit, but if you can't get a hit in, it doesn't really do jack.
Yep, can't hit it, can't crit it.
As we have all 4 of our racers in dungeons, Heavy Metal about to pull our first carry fight. Conmaker going on to Sharknado. We're getting Swing, we're getting Nuke, and we are getting... Was that Fast on
Looks
that?
like that was Fast.
Thief?
Yep, Fast comes out before the melee, and Carrie's like, I'm going to attack that Thief. That Thief has the Rune Sword. Those 8 hits for like 147, so that's going to get a bonus against Carrie. So we have Temper coming out. We have more Temper coming out, going in on this Thief. So it's 567. Carrie is down.
And our second racer to get another orb lit. That is a first to 2 with the Fire Orb and the Water Orb for Heavy Metal. Meanwhile, Conmaker is on to Kraken's floor. Where will Heavy Metal go from here? It looks like going to Ice because they dock down by Crescent. So that is going to be an Ice play to get that Chime before going to get promoted.
I like this play. It's the proximity play. If you had an airship, it would make much less difference, but without the airship, you definitely want to make these proximity plays more, I think.
And Heavy Metal is lost, going to that top ramp, finding this a dead end, going back down, as we have a Kraken pull. That is a quick hit for Sleep on the Knight this time. Fast coming out on, or the fighter, pardon me, Swing, and Temper onto the fighter. Conmaker with the 2 melees, focusing all the damage onto the fighter with that Ice Sword, getting 4 hits in, getting a slain fighter before the Temper can come back out.
Yep.
There's going to be a 2-man, going to be Swing and Nuke. Not getting much damage. That is a sleeping Thief. Only did 2 damage, 250 damage coming out of that Nuke. Oh, and a Swing instead of a Nuke cast. This is a desperation mode. Swing, and that is a wipe to Kraken 2. Not only did that dive come immediately after, unfortunately, Khan did not back out and save, so Khan is going to have to go back down and get that crown. Doesn't necessarily need to, because we know what the crown leads to, but probably going to go there anyways, as we have Rax getting a swing out on a speed bump, and Infinite Tape out with the Fire Orb lit, having taken down Kraken.
Meanwhile, Speed Bump says, hold it, and Thief says, no, I'm going to swing, and Nuke comes out, and Rex is over the Speed Bump.
Infinite Tape going to Crescent Lake instead, or having already been to Iceland or Ice Cave, probably gonna save up, refresh, and get to promotion as Heavy Metal dives, gets the Chime, probably gonna just warp out of here, does not need any equipment.
Yep, checks the chest and is using that telemagic to get out of there. I am much better remembering when someone has telemagic than elemental magic. I'm not sure if we've seen that on the fighters coming out of the fighters in a while. Of course, I could have just missed it. Khan going back through, picking up his crown. Of course, we know he doesn't need it, but he doesn't. Of course, hope he picks up his katana and definitely carbonates bubbles.
Infinite Tape getting the translation of Melmond as Rax goes to the Crescent Lake area, gonna get to the volcano and Ice Cave. Speaking of which, as we know, Heavy Metal warped out of ice. Now Infinite Tape on the way south, probably gonna go promote. Oh, actually on the Inner Sea, I don't believe they've done the herb turn-in just yet.
Meanwhile, Khan picks up his katana, makes sure to carbonate bubbles, and then warps out and saves this time.
Better safe than sorry after wiping. Yep. Herb turn-in for Infinite Tape, turning into the crystal. Good thing they're in the Inner Sea. That makes it a shorter run up to get to the ribbon that we know Matoya has.
In Anrak, I definitely see not warping back out because it saves some time, but you run the risk of what happened to Khan is you wipe, you have to go through mermaids again, although he knew exactly what he wanted. He could just grab it and get out, so it wasn't like it, took as long as it could have.
Heavy Metal taking a bit of divergence, checking to see what those gold bracelets plus or -3 rolled, not liking what they're seeing for the money, and also taking a chance to pick up that slab, having not had the money to get it previously.
Meanwhile, Infinite Tape picks up his ribbon. He is putting it on, I believe, the red mage, which is a white shirt in Matoya's. I don't think we saw that earlier. We have no one that can actually equip it, but anyone can cast Invis 2 with it.
Yep, as we said, we had that plus the Rue Stick, giving them solid casting options for evasion, especially in the parties that don't have the second caster. Either way, we have Khan back on Carrie's floor, going to try and deal with that, or Kraken's floor, I should say, trying to deal with that annoying octopus lady as Rax finds the eye in Volcano.
Let's see, no. In Viz 2, the spell was actually at level 7. That might have been a Red Wizard learnable spot, actually, because I think that was Lot 1 honor, because I could be misremembering. I rarely teach Red Mages those spells.
I love running the Red Mage, but even I don't remember exactly which spells are which. That is a on-the-knees Thief, swing for 3 damage. That is a dead Thief. That is Nuke coming out, getting 124. These nukes have not been rolling high for our runners. That is a swing and a sleep touchdown, 139 surviving on that Thief. Another swing, another nuke in the swing out this time before the sleep touch. The sleep touch turns into a death. And another nuke at 400 damage. Finally, a max roll nuke takes out Carrie. That is 2 orbs lit for Khan.
All right, and no lobster served up after Kraken either. That would have been rough to see. We now have Heavy Metal Mage in Earth and Rex in Volcano. And a Tape also in Earth, so going to head over, roll over a few speed bumps. Werewolves are lit too.
Now, unfortunately, without the Thief, or without the canoe, none of our runners were able to check out Ice Cave coming out of Onrak. So if it turns out that Ice Cave has something critical, maybe our cube, that's another dip to Onrak. Pulling that Ice Sword out of the Asher Chest for Infinite Tape as Rax makes it down to the Agama floor. Gonna find that incentive item there.
And Chime was in Ice, our tracker Red Mage pointed out, thank you. So Ice is required. So yes, it's kind of unfortunate. They're going to have to double dip basically that area to get the Chime eventually. We know that, but they don't necessarily know that yet.
Yeah, that was the proximity play value. We had one runner go Ice first, another runner go Volcano first, and they basically traded spots going Ice or Volcano independently from one another. We got the key turn in, crown to key for Khan, gonna get the swings. As we have our 2 runners in Earth, one going toward, they're actually lockstep, woohoo, Heavy Metal gonna choose to take this, oh, nope, that was an accidental. I was gonna say, it's a little late to take that grind. Those Whiz Mummy packs can be good early value for the party. But either way, Rax getting the tail, getting access to promotion out of Volcano before going on to deal with Carrie. And man, is that pack of wolves. You got the lightning, you got the stinger.
Yeah, they are annoying, they are taking up time, and they're consuming resources. One thing I saw of Infinite Tape, he did take that Wizard Mummy pack when he saw it, but he didn't grind on it. I like that, grabbing the apple.
Glance even. Those wolves are just brutal. Thankfully, having softs in the inventory.
Yeah, if I was playing this, I'd be like to the wolves with this seed. Of course, I've seen worse wolves, to be fair. And we have Rex about to pull Carrie. Okay, healing up. That's some pretty good menuing speed there, Rex. Alright, we have Fight, and Nuke going all offense. I don't believe we have Enhanced Darkness on, so Ink, we don't care. 5 hits for about 151, it looked like. 4 hits, 4 damage out of the Thief. Nuke for 148, that wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Another nuke comes out. 130, we're heading the wrong direction. It hits that Thief, and the Thief swings back. Gets a crit this time. More damage out of the fighter, but still, we need more damage. Nuke comes out. And takes her down, so Rax is hopefully about to light his fire orb.
Indeed, that is 2 Lorbs it for Rax with the Fire and Earth, as we have the Earth Pole or the Lich Pole for Infinite Tape, and Heavy Metal right behind. That is a dead speed bump for Infinite Tape. That is a canoe picked up out of Canaria locked for Khan, as nukes and swings come out, and that is another speed bump down. That is Heavy Metal taking it down. That will be 3rd orb for Heavy Metal. That is a cube away from go mode.
Yes, I don't remember if the hint giver has told us where the cube is.
No, we have not seen. So at this point, I'm assuming the cube is going to be out of a turn-in. We know the TNT is still loose out there. The crystal turns into the ribbon. That came out of the herb for more deals. So I'm thinking either the TNT turns into it or it's in Ice Cave. Either way.
Now, Ice
Or
Cave
Waterfall,
was...
I should say. Waterfall.
Yeah,
I always
Waterfall.
get those two confused. My bad. Now,
Yeah,
the
this is
shocking
the...
thing is how many runners have tail and haven't gone yet. I mean, Infinite Tape has the tail and is going Waterfall before even bothering to try and promote wicking those two katanas. Here we go. Rax and Heavy Metal both full
Yeah,
on to promote. Lockstep in it.
Yeah, and Infinite Tape would find the promotion very useful for Kraken, especially if he's seen, you know, I don't think he would have seen the katana that Bubbles has, but he wouldn't have seen the other one yet.
Yeah, no matter what our racers,
promotions.
yeah, no matter what our runners have all seen at least one katana, given how they stacked up with the Roostick even in that Bahamut's horde. And that is Heavy Metal promoted, going to deal with the turn-in chain to get that ribbon off of the Ordeal's Herb to Crystal chain we know is coming. As armor shuffling for Rax to go along with the weapons equipment.
Yep, one thing I liked is he checked the weapon stats and decided, okay, equip the Bane Sword. I mean, the Bane Sword is well known for its Bane casting, but you know, it's actually a pretty decent weapon.
It, along with the defense sword, as far as caster sword weapons, are extremely potent when they roll even or up for just raw damage potential. As Rax going to get that check in Waterfall, and the TNT comes out of the robot in Waterfall, so that is the cube most likely going to come right out of that turn-in. We've already seen what the adamant turns into. The TNT is our last turn-in item, so that will be go mode coming out for that, or coming out of that dip into Waterfall, and a check with the dwarf.
Yep, we also saw the Thor Hammer in Waterfall, which is a free Lightning 2 cast. That can be useful, and so you'll see if Infinite Tape is, yeah, he's going to Onrak, so he's going to try to take on Kraken without promoting, which, yeah, Bane, you have decent levels at this point. Yeah, I like this play. It's the proximity play. Remember to promote afterwards.
And with the party with multiple casters, I believe, getting multiple nukes out. Hopefully those nukes roll high. We've seen some really low roll nukes. Repeatedly, sub 150 nukes, only finding that 400 that rolled, that saved the Kraken fight for Khan, I believe.
Of course, we also have two Bane casters. We can go with that strat as well. That worked. It's already worked for Kraken. We haven't seen, well, nobody's been up to Sky yet, so I haven't seen it for Tia.
Rax looting the chests in in Waterfall as the Herb comes out of Ordeals for Heavy Metal, and Khan on the Agma floor going for the loot, gonna find that tail. Once he gets to that middle room, Rax warps out or exits out, as does Heavy Metal walking out with that Herb. We are most likely going to see Rax going straight into Onrak. Yep, promoted, doesn't need to worry about it, has the katana with fast cast, gonna try and do the swing, cut, the sushi, or calamari, or whatever.
Well, be sure to see if anyone goes back by Lefane to pick up spells from the Superstore. It might be a little out of the way at this point, depending on where they are, but it might work well in some cases.
The vast majority of spells that they'd actually want to use, they have already been able to pick up, at least on their casters. What they could pick up on that ninja, what they could pick up on that knight if they have them, that's the good question for the value.
Yes, I mean, Cure 4 on that knight could be very valuable. And of course, Fast Temper and Nuke on the ninja could be pretty valuable as well.
Khan losing the Black Mage to a random encounter. Not so happy to see that. About to pull a carry with the unpromoted party of the Thief and the Fighter. No nukes to be used. Roostick coming out from the Thief. Swing from the Knight. Only 44 damage it looks like. That is Darkness. That's going to half the accuracy of the Thief if the Thief tries to swing. And Blaze. We did not see that from her earlier. That's a lot of casting. Evasion from the Roostick does nothing against AoE damage. That evasion did help there with the miss on the swings. 24 damage out of that Knight. No temper cast, no fast cast, having no nukes, and poison. This carry is ridiculously brutal. We did not see this from any of our other runners. 4 hits takes 95 damage. That is 3 hits for over 100. That was good hits from the Thief. Swing. We got sub 40 from the thief. We got sub 100 from the knight for health. That evasion actually helping. Carry wanting to swing at that thief is exactly what Khan wants to see. Getting swing. This is some desperate hold A and pray action. Another swing, another sub 40 damage. This is gonna take a while if it gets it. Hopefully that cast. Oh, there's the kill that got through the evasion stacks. There's no advanced evasion on that knight or on that fighter, and he does not have the most amazing arm. But that is a clutch kill on carry 2. 19 or level 19 on that fighter. Gonna heal it up. The right move before going on those encounterable tiles. Gets out of that. That's 3 orbs lit for Khan. All he needs to do is go to ice, but I doubt the proximity play to ice is going to happen here because he only has his knight up. It looks like he is going to at least go to Crescent to heal up, or to resurrect, if not go all the way to promote. Oh, interesting. What? It looks like he is going back in to get to the eye because he has a solo fighter. He might as well grind it. He's not going to take the deep dive to the safe off tile encounter, but he is going to go ahead and grind. As Infinite Tape, while I was talking, has dealt with a carry, and Rex is going to turn in that TNT and likely get our cube.
Yep, Infinite Tape and Rex both take down Kraken, gets cube out of the TNT, so that will open up Sky, and I like this. Checking out Dwarven Armory, it's pretty easy. You've got teleport magic, you could find great stuff, or a heal staff and a great axe.
Come to think of it, it had to be the cube out of the TNT because we know the only other incentive item, the Masa, is in Sky, and obviously the cube cannot be locked behind the cube lock.
Yep, so meanwhile, Infinite Tape is now going to go get his promotion, so he'll be able to equip the katana and all that knight armor.
I don't agree with this move by Khan, having not promoted, not being able to get those magic spells, or those spell casts. It's definitely a powerful character, but this could be a really poor choice of grind.
And
especially
not to
when
mention
you can get
the
paralyzed.
Eye has slow and hold.
And dark. This Eye is a troll grind option.
Yes. Let's see if Khan just bails. Or he's going to maybe looking to shift the ribbon, or still taking it. I don't know about this. I mean, it could work out and you could get a really beefy fighter, but again, like with Cure 4 Knight Learnable, I definitely agree. We don't want to be taking too many levels before promotion.
Yeah. And Rax actually taking that water dock to Lefane does have access to that with the canoe, but also could have docked at that lower actual dock or above Crescent before, or near the Peninsula Power. Stopping Lefane, getting the adamant that we know is going to turn into the opal bracelet, having the TNT, that means it's a single dive into, oh wait, already has the cube, so already went there, as Infinite Tape is going to get the cube from the TNT turn in either way, but using this chance, once promoted, to do as you say, getting that magic on that fighter, as Heavy Metal fighting of Red Dragon in Waterfall, on that tile, gets the TNT. That is going to be the turn into go mode for Heavy Metal. All of our racers taking disparate routes, but all more or less coalescing here. Right now, I'd say the lead is Rax's to have, but Infinite Tape is right there with him.
I agree, of course. Does Rax have his chime yet? Because the record seemed to indicate that.
That's a good point, because, well, we shall find out.
I don't think he does,
way.
Because he left, of course. We've seen the chime. I've completely forgotten where it was, but we have seen it.
The chime is in ice, so...
Yes, so, and that is where Rax looks, maybe, no, he doesn't appear to be headed towards ice. He's headed towards...
Probably going to turn in that adamant that he just picked up to get that opal bracelet, which is what Heavy Metal has just done, because that opal is excellent armor.
Yeah.
Most likely going to go on to the Black Mage, if not the Red Mage, because the Red Mage does have access to fighter armor that can get some silver armor plate.
And of course, he does not know that this turns into the opal, so this is a good play on his part, but once he gets this and realizes, okay, well, I got some good armor, but now I know I need to go to ice to get this cube and then get into, or excuse me, get the chime, and even get into Mirage, let alone Sky.
Yeah, Infinite Tape, our first runner, is in Sky. Gonna get that Masa, if they remember to check it. Noticing that Rex also pulled Fire Armor +2 out of the free chests in Dwarves. That gives the Thief or Ninja some solid armor, and then that Opal Bracelet can go on to another party member. Probably, in his case, I'd say the Fighter, if he wants to stick with that double melee up. Infinite Tape is remembering the Masa pickup, getting a Masa +4 to go with that Katana that also rolled +4. This is not an Excal Katana and Masa and Vorpal, but this is still a Katana and Masa. Switching to the Katana for the Masa for that Thief. Interesting. Not going to put the Masa on the Red Mage as a second swinger. I'm curious to ask about that when if we can get him in for interviews after the race. Meanwhile, Heavy Metal saving outside of the Mirage Tower, about to walk in as Rax going to get that chime that he now knows is in Ice Cave.
And one thing to remember about the flame and the ice armor is Red Mages and Red Wizards can use that to see. They have the fighter armor. Checking the greed chests, we get a Wizard Staff, which is, that would have been great going to the volcano and fighting Carrie.
Now here's the question. We have a roaming war mech. Does Infinite Tape, if seen, take the fight? It's an extremely juicy pack of experience, but as we know, war mech is sharing the pool of moves with the final fiends and chaos. So if you encounter war mech, you could find not just the usual nukes and nuclears, but plenty of other broken cast items. Looks like did not see the roaming war mech as Khan is promoting, but could still get a loose war mech, I believe, with the encounter table.
No, when war mech is patrolling, I don't believe he's loose on the Bridge of Destiny, unless you have the war mech mode set to all. But one of the nice things about taking a war mech is it gives you some clue as to what's happening in Topher's. Like, oh, war mech used Cure 4, Chaos won't have it. Meanwhile, Infinite Tape pulls to fight. And Brack, I like this, and Brack.
Masa for 200 and almost 300 damage. Brack comes out fast on Tia. Want to kill that before it gets the swings out. Those multiple heads can do a lot of damage. And a Brack kill. That is a Brack kill on Tia to go with Heavy Metal's Bane kill on Kraken.
Alright, and that is the 4th orb lit for Infinite Tape, so he is probably going to head on back, pick up heal pots, and then head into Topher, and takes the Ankylo fight probably maybe one a few levels. I mean, Ankylos are about the last thing I want to fight personally.
Oh, I'd be curious if they remember that or what point in the encounter table that the blue stake was on that they encountered earlier. I don't remember if Infinite Tape even found the blue stake, but if they're worried about levels, it's kind of hard to get back to grind tiles in dungeons. Not having the airship, you'd have to go all the way through the water system if you want to get to the eye grind or what have you, or Ice Cave to get to the metal slimes if they saw them. Not the best seed for grinding. Getting Nuke on that Thief and Temper just to be sure, because we did not see the power bonk, so there's no caster item to go along with that root stick to make that Thief or Ninja a super strong fight or Katana or Masa swinger. And Heavy Metal all the way through Sky. Did not see the war mech, unfortunately, is going onto the Bridge of Destiny after healing up.
Yep, we have Khan in Ordeals and Rax also in the Sky at the moment. And Infinite Tape is heading towards Topher, so he will be in there shortly. We'll see if he checks the hint bats, because that's always a good information to get. Always actually checking the incentives and maybe trying to find a grind tile. Well, that's not the grind tile we want.
Unfortunately, we do not have better trap treasure enabled, so these tiles or these chests aren't necessarily going to be the best chests, but the grind tile would have been nice to find something nice to find, as we have a Tia pull that is a fast cast and a temper cast onto that Ninja, temper out from the red mage, fast cast from the white mage or from the black mage, swing for 471 damage with the I believe he's running the Katana instead of the Masa. Yes, the Katana
Yes.
on the Thief and the Masa on the Red Mage. Swing, 10 hits, 530 damage to back up the Red Mage's 150 or so. And that is a kill on Tia 2. And that is Heavy Metal, our second racer, on stream with a 4 orbs lit go mode as Rax in Sky picking up the Masa. Let's see where Rax puts the Masa out. I say that Infinite Tape is actually into Ordeals.
And let's see, if he's looking for a grind, Ordeals 3, or excuse me, Topher 3 is right here is a very good place to get one. Rax also, of course, put the Masa on the Red Mage. He's going to check out the greed chests.
Rax actually having the Knight to put the Moss on, so even more swing potential with that big stick. 5 hits, 560 damage, and 5 hits, 459 coming out from that ninja. That is some sweet melee combat capability.
Yep, I don't think we've seen the X-Cal. I don't think we've seen the Vorpal. I don't think we need either one.
Indeed, we have not. And we've got the Herb turned in for Khan, going to get that Crystal turned in, get the Ruby, or get the Ribbon, I should say, as Heavy Metal is joining Infinite Tape going into Toph, as Infinite Tape, our first runner onto the Earth floor. No hit bat checks, just some bat blocking for Heavy Metal. 5802 into Toph, our second racer on stream, as Rax making it through Sky onto the Bridge of Destiny. Again, no Warmac, unfortunately.
Infinite Tape pulling up the Speed Bump 2, attack, and nuke. It's here you could save a nuke cast if he put that Masa on the Red Wizard, but then again, you can get some pretty good damage from the ninja with that Masa, as shown there. Bye, Lich.
Probably wanted to save the nuke cast when the nuke cast rolls sub 100. These nukes have not been favorable to our racers.
All right, Infinite Tape about to pull carry 2, so we'll see. Melee, nuke, so pretty standard strategy there. 422 out of that Masa. Carry retaliates for about 300 something. Nuke comes up for 200 something, finally getting a decent roll. And another low nuke, those like 116, but it is enough. And one thing I am concerned about is, well, that ninja is now just over 400 HP, and the Red Wizard and Black Wizard are not. And we haven't seen any nukes in the pool.
Meanwhile, Heavy Metal in Topher looks like it bounced out, either got wiped or is looking for more experience. Getting some Metal Slimes, a 7-pack. That's excellent with that nuke to get some experience. As you said, Topher can be great for grinds, as Rax finishing off carry now in go mode along with Heavy Metal and Infinite Tape.
Khan, meanwhile, heading back to Canary. He still needs his Chime and his Cube, which, of course, he still doesn't have TNT, so he's got a little bit of exploring to do. Meanwhile, water packs are never fun to see in Topher.
Nearly losing that Thief, getting almost, or sub 100, getting that Cure 4 out, just saving the heal pots and the menuing. It's a one-shot, and if you have the spell cast, you might as well use it. Let's see if Infinite Tape does some party shuffling or leaves the party as is. Gonna leave the party as is, so that Thief is gonna be the first thing to going with the White Shirt, Temper, and Fast rather than the Roost Stick, wanting some evasion on the entire party. Less evasion for the Thief, or for the Ninja up front, but it does make it evasion. And Rub just ignores evasion altogether. One shots the Black Mage. Thankfully, the Red Mage survives, having life 2 to bring it back up. Kraken getting a punch in onto the Ninja. The Ninja swinging out 5 damage, or 5 swings for 372. Getting another Temper out onto the Ninja from the Red Mage. Nuke coming out from the Black Mage. Still 105. These nukes are weak. 5 swings though, 480 plus damage. That is a Kraken 2 taken care of, as Heavy Metal Mage is dealing with a Lich 2, and Rax is taking on a party of Metal Slimes. We are on to Carrie's floor for Heavy Metal, and a fight with Tia 2 for Infinite Tape. Take it away.
All right, and Infinite Tape made the adjustment, putting the Katana on the Thief. So meanwhile, we have a White Shirt coming out, and I believe that Rub was a 3 and 256. Don't they have Pro Rings? Temper on the Thief. Swing on the Red Mage. Tia knows where the Life Caster is. The White Shirt, about Temper and Temper. All right, White Shirt comes out, adds a little more evasion. Blizzard comes out, doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. Temper on the Ninja. Fight, Cure 4. Tornado comes out. Ooh, the Lifecaster is down. Nuke comes out. Low roll. 719 damage out of the Ninja. Tia will not last too long there. 1520. Tia 2 is down, but at what cost? Well, the cost of the Res Wizard.
And meanwhile, Heavy Metal dealing with Carry 2 as Rax is about to deal with the Moot Plate and make their way back into 2,000 years behind. 2,000 years in time. Infinite Tape with that party member down. Gonna pull Chaos. Go ahead and take it away.
Alright, so he's making some adjustments, putting the Thief and Ninja Shane slot 3, going to go for the RNG loop if he needs to. See, White Shirt, did he ever get the Roost Stick? And Fast? Lightning 2 comes out for tickle damage. Fast the Ninja. White Shirt comes out, increases everyone's evasion a little. White Shirt again. Yep. Oh, did he miss menu? Yes, he tempered the Black Wizard. Unless he put the mouse on the Black Wizard. Stop comes out. Oh,
And
it lands on both of them.
And no Cure 4.
Yep. The Black Wizard picks out. He's going to try to temper the Thief. Nuclear! Oh. Wipes the party.
And that's one thing to worry about. We had not seen Nuke or Nuclear out of any of the Fiends previously, so Chaos ended up stacking in Nuclear. That is a wipe from Infinite Tape, as Heavy Metal, our furthest runner in the dungeon now, is on Kraken 2. Getting swings out 8 hits, 420 damage. Lit 2 coming out, doing some chip damage and more or less on his party. Swing weight with that Masa and the Red Mage. That is 7 hits for 480 damage. The Masa +4 doing plenty of damage in that caster as a second melee party member. Again, the master of nothing, but the jack of all trades is doing its job.
All right,
Heavy
pulls
Metal.
up the Tia 2. Take it away.
That is going to be a that is interesting. That is a fast on the black, or onto the Red Mage. The Red Mage gets hits hard fast onto itself. That's stacking fast does not work, unfortunately. Getting Cure 4 coming out from the Red Mage on itself. Trying to liberate Temper and Roost Stick going out. Temper onto the Ninja. Oh, and that is a 1-hit damage on the Black Mage. No more faster Temper coming out of that. Gonna go with the Life 2 instead of trying some damage or heals. Keeping that third party member up. Evasion from that Roost Stick doing well. 11 hits, 600 plus damage. The Ninja staying up and doing damage. Now we're getting the cast out of the abilities. That is Blizzard. Getting the swinging out with the Moss. 8 hits, 580 damage. Another swing, 10 hits, 602. That is a Tiamat 2 down. Heavy Metal, unlike Infinite Tape before, has all 3 party members up. Makes it cleanly into Chaos's floor and is about to pull Chaos as Rax is dealing with a Carry 2.
All right, of course, we don't know what Chaos has after Nuclear, but we might be about to find out. Heavy Metal Mage healing up. Let's see if he does any party order adjustments.
And indeed, putting the Black Mage ahead as the Plate of Meat Shield, all it needs to do is Temper and Fast. Either of its melee casters going to go fast and fast. Both the melee casters ring up and going with the Roost Stick, not the White Shirt, going with the primary evasion stacks on the most critical damage dealer. Fast comes out for both party members. Going to go switch to Temper, not bothering with Nuke. Just wants to make sure that all the damage can be getting a Nuke. Yep, choosing Temper instead of Nuke. Double tempering on that Ninja, getting the Roost Stick out. There goes the Blade of Meat Shield, putting the Red Mage next in the firing line. Life 2 comes out to bring up the Meat Shield. Roost Stick comes out, gonna get full stacks of evasion on that. Unfortunately, the Nuclear comes out, but all 3 party members do survive. Temper coming back out on the Ninja, Cure 4 on the Ninja to keep it alive, and the swing. Hopefully this ink does not hit for effect. It does not. That is Temper coming out. That is another Cure 4 coming out. That is going to be a swing with the Katana +4 from the Ninja. 7 hits, 503. Not that much damage, but enough if it keeps going. More Temper coming out. Getting Tempers out before the swings. Double Temper in. Swing for 8 hits, 1258 damage. 3 hits for the death on the Black Mage. Evasion stacks keeping that Ninja alive. That is a swing and a kill on Chaos for Heavy Metal, our first racer to finish on stream with a racetime.gg time of 1 hour 6 minutes and 9 seconds, putting Heavy Metal our 4th racer overall, with Ravioli off stream, our first place with 56.54. Our second place going to Herbie B with 1 hour 1 minute flat, And our third place is Kumo with 1 hour, 3 minutes, 34 seconds. GG's in chat.
Yes. Meanwhile, Rax is should be Infinite Tape is through Kraken 2, and Rax is through Tiamat 2, so he's going to go down and find out that Chaos has nuclear. Infinite Tape's gotten back down Topher quickly. Khan, meanwhile, is headed into Waterfall, going to pick up his incentive item there.
Picking up the TNT to get the cube to get into go mode.
Alright. The tape gets away from a Twilight Party Pack. He's going to take on Tia 2. Temper fast, and I think that was an attack. Oh, white shirt.
Keeping with that party evasion rather than using the roost stick for the solo evade on the primary melee. Understandable.
Especially since you definitely want to keep that red wizard up if you can. And whoa, that was 1,011 damage, I think, out of the ninja. Goodbye, Tia 2.
And that puts Infinite Tape back onto onto Chaos's floor. Rax doing some menuing and some weapon slipping before pulling Chaos themselves.
Yep, so we are going to have a double Chaos fight. Always love to see this. Alright. Meanwhile, Khan is sailing up towards doors. He's going to turn on his TNT as Chaos comes out with 2 black wizards already down. We have the white shirt. Meanwhile, we also have a temper and the fast on Infinite Tapes and the white shirt there. Chaos says stop. Rax's party says no, fast on the knight. And temper on the ninja for Infinite Tape. And more temper on the ninja for Infinite Tape. Temper on the knight for Rax. And the ninja being able to learn fast and temper. Key, big hit from the knight there. Chaos swings, puts the black mage on 117. What is with the nuke rolls this seed? Another roll. We have swings coming from Rax, and get your GGs out in chat for both Rax and Infinite Tape. Finishing with race time.gg times of 1 hour 7 minutes 53 seconds for Rax and 1 hour 9 minutes 4 seconds for Infinite Tape. Meanwhile, coming in 6th between them was Maple at 1 hour 8 minutes 1 second. GGs to all.
And we are joined in the booth by our first race winner on stream, Heavy Metal Mage. GG.
Hey, thanks guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
After so much running and racing, it's hard to remember what to ask as we come into it, but what do you think of the blursings for the parties?
The first things were pretty interesting. Normally I would take a fighter all of the time, but I just looked at there was the fighter armor on the red mage, and that seemed pretty exciting. I wanted, to have a little bit of white magic available too, but the white mage didn't have much. And then teleport magic, you always have to grab that. So yeah, I ran a seed earlier this week with a similar party and just got totally killed in Topher. So I was a little nervous going in, but seemed to go all right.
Well, picking up the roost stick, the katana, and the masa for melee and evasion, and the white shirt eventually. Meanwhile, as you were about to say, I'm assuming Classic Gamer, we are joined by Rax on stream.
That's correct. GG's, Rax.
Thank you. GG's, everyone.
We'll open up with the same question for you as well. Party member choices with the 3-man. How did you like these blursings?
Teleport magic, obviously great. That felt non-optional. The elemental magic on fighter actually really tempted me. I've done a couple of these in the early game where I just didn't have access to an area of effect spell. Turned out that didn't matter hardly at all, but there was nothing at white level 1 that was worth resetting for, and so I figured I would just roll it.
All right, and
Very
we are
much
joined
understandable.
in the booth by Infinitape as well. So, same question we've asked the other two. What did you think of these blur scenes?
I love the black mage, with the teleportation and the extra spell cast. I think it worked really well. The other two it didn't really hit me real hard. They were fine. They didn't really do a lot for me, but really that the black mage made everything a little bit smoother, except when I went to dive ice and I forgot to use the house and didn't realize I was out of teleport magic, so I had to go the long way around.
Couldn't have been all that fun with the water or diving in the sea either.
That's interesting. I think
See?
everyone.
Yeah, C wasn't too bad to me, since I was able to run down at a relatively low level on the right side and then exit out. That actually went really quick. Which I didn't have to dive it twice, but it worked out.
Some of our racers end up triple dipping on rack, getting the incentive item, running back, getting the kill on carry, and then once they finally got to the canoe, finally getting the waterfall to get that TNT. So it was a very much back and forth seed for everyone.
Meanwhile, we have Khan about to enter. Topher is doing some equipment juggling. So the weapons this seed, they were pretty nice. What did you think, especially saw that elf hint giver say, oh, there's a Masa +4 up there in the sky.
Yeah, I like the fact that the Masa was up there. I had the Katana +4, so I didn't necessarily have to have it, but I went ahead and grabbed it anyway because, of course, the Vanilla Sky location's just right there. It's not out of the way. I was just glad I saw the hint giver about the ship. That would have been a lot more searching if I hadn't seen where that was.
Indeedly do, forcing our runners to go all the way up the bridge to Lefane, then up the path to Gaia, and then some of them, I don't know if you were one of them, found the blue stake, which was an interesting early find. No one went back to grind it because they didn't feel the need for the levels, but an early blue stake.
Another thing I saw is occasionally someone would take an eye a few times, or take every eye encounter they could in Volcano sort of thing. Was because without the airship and the quick access to the grind tiles, how did that impact your grinding strategy and even your routing?
I generally did more kind of grinding on the go. I did do a little bit of an eye grind, picked up a few levels, but I figured with some of the extra walking I'd have to do, I'd be able to do some walking grind. And that really worked out well, except for losing that red mage around Tia 2. And that just kind of doomed me on my first Topher run.
I think if the spells hadn't been so good for the ninja, I would have taken the eye grind longer. But there's sort of the, make these things easy versus, not get spell charges, and the spell charges I think are important.
Yeah, I started setting up for an eye grind as well, but I noticed that the eye had some kind of touch. Maybe it was mute touch, and that just made me nervous, and I hit the road.
The eye was the most trolly possible eye you could get, not just mute touch.
Yeah, I believe it had slow, hold, and other things. Meanwhile, Khan is coming up to a speed bump. Hi there, Lich. Have some nuke, Lich. Finally a good rolled nuke. And goodbye, Lich.
How much did you all like having Nuke constantly rolling sub 150? Because it seemed like the standard power was like around 150 to 200.
Just cast it again.
Like that, you're bound to get some good rolls out of it eventually. Meanwhile, Khan's coming up to a carry 2 here. And carry 2's gone.
Yeah, trying to conserve a nuke cast, going with that Ice 3 instead, but the swing does the job because that is a Masa-equipped, buffed-up knight.
And a seafood party plaque. I'd never like it when this game serves up lobsters. I only prefer to be served up lobsters at a restaurant.
It's still depressing me there isn't a surf and turf party.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Randomizer could probably do that for you. if you create new formations. God trying to get away from the water. She does. And finds a second water encounter. I think he's on the same encounter table some of the others have been on. Doesn't even heal up, just goes straight up to Kraken. Of course, Melee comes out right before the fast cast because Rando. And not much out of the ninja, and Kraken's like, oh, that hurt a little. He's killing the ninja, and then, ooh, kills the place. This could be a little bit of problematic here, but has Khan gotten the Ruse Stick? He's got Cure 4? Yes, he does, and he's got Cure 4 on the Knight. You can definitely man mode this, especially if he has some HP. Yep, putting the ribbon on the Knight, good move.
Yeah, with level 4 having that life 2 and no life 1, that is a no recovery. This is a man mode to the end.
Yep. So not even trying to ruse up here. And Tia's doing some damage, but then again, so is Susie the Knight. Interesting. Oh!
And the choice to go man mode, swing, 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 not paying out. Khan is wiping and diving straight back in. Understandable. Just looking to get some different order and different luck to get at least one more party member through.
I mean, he had Cure 4 on the Knight. He probably figured, Tia can do one more attack and then I'll Cure 4. And Tia's attack hit a little harder that time.
It was interesting. Tia, noticing there was only one party member, just kept swinging, didn't even bother casting or using skills.
Yep, so good adjustment on Tia's part, I guess. Even though it is just totally random.
Well, we still have the empirical evidence that Kraken's programmed to kill white mages, so who knows, Tia might be smart enough to know how to choose her skills or swings. But hey, that's just how it rolls sometimes. Random makes things look more real or more probable than they actually are.
Quite true. See, guys, we really didn't see much other than I think Werewolves with Lightning 2 didn't. I think Garland had Trance. Didn't see much in the way of nasty spells or abilities this seed until Chaos had Nuclear, of course.
Well, no one ended up fighting Warmech on Sky Maze, which sad but understandable.
Yep. If you guys had seen Warmech, would you have taken the fight?
Absolutely. For me, I was kind of doing a walk and grind in Sky, and I was half hoping I would get Warmech, but no dice.
Yeah, I probably would have taken it.
Yeah, me too.
All right, meanwhile, Khan's going over Speed Bump 2, and goodbye, Speed Bump 2.
Masa making good work of the bag of bones.
Yep, so you guys had Masa and Katana. What did you think when you, especially if you saw the Katana +4 and knew you had the Masa, and everyone had the Thief, I do believe. What did you think there as far as melee went? Because I know at least one person actually did put the Masa on the ninja for a little while.
Ooh, Carrie has Bane. Down goes the ninja this time for Khan, unfortunately. 10 hits, 400 plus damage out of that Masa swinging Knight brings down the Knight, but, brings down. No life casting again. This is now a 2-man. Masa getting the Ruse Stick up front.
I mean, this is a risk you run with this party selection. I mean, it's kind of... Well, actually, with this party selection, either the Knight's going to get the life spells or nobody is. So that is the risk, of course, to try off is you get the all the melee.
Yes, but you also have to worry about your levels and your survivability, because if your party can be knocked down by one spell, that makes not dying a little harder. Ruse and Temper coming out, a couple Ruse stacks, and that's a dead black. Back to man mode even before Tia swings out 1300 damage off 9 hits on man mode to Tia 2.
So we'll see if he makes any adjustments this time. He knows that Tia can actually hit pretty hard, so I can definitely see him making a few adjustments. Of course, he gets this wonderful seafood party platter. Everyone just loves to see after Kraken, too.
Kumo in chat, one of our racers off stream, saying that they pulled the thief white mage black mage party and put that katana or the masa on the white mage.
Yes, I like that play. I think good play. Of course, those who had knights and red mages did that. Meanwhile, a bit more evasive in the knight this time, and the knight's hacking away at Tia with the masa. Do we actually have a loop? I was thinking we'd hit a. Maybe we have. Looks like we've hit a slot 2. No, we didn't. I mean, I think I consistently saw 262, but
Wasn't a crit loop, but it worked, and that is through Tia 2. Unfortunately, we know Chaos has some pretty potent power. Just now remembering Khan to put that ribbon up onto that knight, get past the vampire party pack, and Khan onto Chaos. Or is this the first time he made Chaos, or is it the second? I can't remember.
It is his first time to Chaos, I believe, and Kumo points out that White Mage had the plus 20% hit. That's more swings. This knight is going to be beefy, so he should be able to take a nuclear, but Chaos is swinging hard. Another evasion tech stop misses. Chaos swings and misses. Susie swings 181. Susie swings 267. It's interesting. Khan did not move the knight down to slot 3 to get the crit loop. We have 1 damage. That's good. 4 hits, 211. That's better. Stun's not going to work. Chaos uses fast. 213. Swing. Looks going for a fire 3. We're actually seeing Chaos's. Listen, it's not too bad. Lightning 2. Tickle damage. 209. Chaos swings. This Chaos is pretty beefy. Chaos swings and misses again. Or it's 283. 5 hits, 148 for the win. Get your GGs out in chat for Khan on finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, 58 seconds.
And speaking of our last overall runner with 8th place overall, bringing it to the booth, Khan. GG.
GG all. I have questions.
Do say. We have questions for you as well, but we'll let you ask your one question really fast.
I just realized mermaids was not turned on.
Mermaids was incentivized with the
mermaid.
crown.
I was expecting mermaid prison for some reason in my head.
Ah, that's what you're referring to. Well, let's finish this off. And let's ask you, what do you think about your party selection, especially how it played out, having to man mode that without a life caster of any sort?
Yeah, I had mixed results in my. Let me turn that down. I had mixed results in my test runs of that, and I felt like I could get away with just the black mage. I kind of regret it now, especially when the knight didn't wake up with any life.
At least you had a good selection of weapons, pulling that katana +4 and ruse stick out of the armory, and then or Bahamut's Horde, and then picking up the Masa out of Sky.
Question we've asked.
I expected to just have a lot better attacks, a lot better rolls, and probably underestimated Tia 2 a little.
I figured their last swing on their first dive actually did a little more damage than the others. Notice that was probably a surprise wipe there. Question we've asked the others: if you'd seen the patrolling Mormec, would you have taken it?
Absolutely, at that point.
It is unanimous.
having failed that eye grind. That eye was nasty.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
we
was.
saw
You were the
you
one
go
who
back
saw the
in with
nasty
the.
stuff.
Yeah, you're the one who went back in after dropping 2 party members trying to get your night ground up.
I found every possible skill he had apparently. Stun, slow, something else. I can't even remember at this point.
And he also had mute touch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Or dark. Dark, I think, was in there too.
Yeah, I don't think Enhanced Darkness was on, but I could be wrong. But on the note of the eyes, you didn't have the airship in this flag set, so you couldn't go back to any convenient grind tile. So how did that factor into your overall grinding strategy?
I realized very early on that I was way behind. So I gave up a little bit on the grind in favor of kind of the walking grind, hoping to just make up room with something like a war mech.
Well, how about we move on to our final thoughts from our runners? Let's start off with our first runner on stream,
That
I
eye,
believe,
though.
which was Heavy Metal Mage.
Yeah, that was it was a really fun seed overall. I mean, Karib's with Lightning 2 is a little trolly, but yeah, overall, really, really great time.
Move on to Infinite Tape.
I think overall, except for the wipe and Topher, I had a really good run. Big thanks to the crew and to the people running the Duck Derby and the Duck Boot Camp for helping build those skills up.
Rex.
I felt like the seed really showed off the floaterless. There were a lot of double dips having to go up the bridge to the Fen really early. I enjoyed that. I think there was more optimization I could have done, but practice really paid off to start understanding the map because it's just different. And just want to echo thank you all for putting this together. It's been super fun playing in this.
And last but not least, our final racer on stream, Khan.
Thank you to everybody for putting this on, and we'll do better next time. Thank you.
Well, for myself, my fellow Ducks on stream for Block A, Group A, as well as our racers today on Group B, this has been the Final Fantasy Randomizer 2013 Duckling Derby Gaia Mountain Underpass Race 2 for Group B. I have been Thavian Hawk with my co-streamer, your classic gamer 76, our restreamer again, Hate the 13th, and our tracker duo of Red Mage and JLo7. If you like what you see, feel free to join in at FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You'll find on that site our link to our Discord. It's just so easy to get into it. All you need is the ROM and the website. Experiment, join up with Discord, and talk with everyone. Either way, y'all have a very good weekend and evening. Signing off.